Hey y'all, Jessie Petersen here with another theme for your art journaling. We're going to start out with a brand new journal and we're going to work in the theme of life maps for the next couple of projects.
Ooh.
And we got Keenan here behind the camera.
Hello, thank you for coming.
Thank you. I'm excited about the theme and I'm excited about the supplies we have. So we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to set an intention, we're going to talk about our theme, and we're going to talk about our supplies. So, which one should we do first?
Ooh, let's set an intention after supplies.
I like that. That feels right.
I do too.
Okay. All right. So supplies. We've never done this before, but we are going to use gouache. And Holbein gouache is what we have in the subscription box. If you don't have our subscription box, you can use gouache, whatever you got around. You can even use acrylic paint. I was just trying to show y'all what you can do with gouache. So we have yellow ochre. And we have this brilliant orange. Oh, it's so hot. Like it's just like a really warm orange. And we have ivory black, which is a strange name for ivory. Feels like it's a
like tickle the ivory like a piano.
Right, okay, all right, that makes sense. And then turquoise blue. And then we also get this cool little 6-well tray, which I love to put paint in and put it in a little, I cleaned out a Ziploc that I used and put that in there and then just take my journal and my brush and it's like ready to go, you know?
Dang, that's nice. And you get one of those big rubber bands and just slap it across all
Yeah,
of them.
or you could slide it in one of our notebook covers that I usually have.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of fun. And yes, paste as usual for our pasting down of our collage paper. I'm going to use a number 8 round brush. And we'll use this palette knife for putting on our paste and a black precise pen for journaling.
Nice.
So I think I got it all.
Those are awesome supplies.
Have some water handy, of course, because gouache is a water-based paint. So what I love about gouache, and it is different than acrylic or watercolor, is that it is water soluble. Now there are other kinds of gouache out there. There's acrylic gouache, which acts more like an acrylic but is matte finish. This is gouache, not acrylic gouache, and it has a matte finish as well, which I love. It's like velvet. And you can play with different opacities with gouache, so it can be not see-through, where you really pile it on, or you can use more water and it can be more transparent. So gouache is just kind of a fun in-between sort of paint.
Yeah,
you know?
to play with.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how y'all like it.
Were you looking for the word opaque?
Yes.
Opaque versus transparent?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
He's
I know
always
some words.
He's always helping me out with those words I can't access because I'm nervous. Okay, so that's our supplies, and then we can do our intention next. Perfect. And then we can go into our theme and our prompts and techniques for today. So I like to set an intention when I'm about to do something creative, and I thought it might be important for us to recognize that we've set aside this time to be creative and work in our journal and kind of just let go of whatever else is happening in the world or in your life. And for me today, I was thinking setting an intention of openness and possibility. Just to be open to whatever, and yeah, it's almost like a New Year's resolution. You know, at the beginning of the year, you think about, okay, this is a new year coming. What kind of things do I want to accomplish this year? Or what kind of things that I want to put on my list to do? Or what kind of things do I want to let go? You know, but it's fall and it's August and like school may be starting for some people. Like things are changing, the season's changing, and it's a kind of nice time to be open with the changes that are happening with us and curious. So you can do that in the new year or in a new season or in a new day. So today is like art journal time. It could be like a reset button. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Every day could be a reset button, but that's what I'm hoping for our little session of creativity today. So in order to set intention, sometimes I just have to take a deep breath. So it might be feel weird. We'll just take a deep breath together.
Okay, ready.
And we'll just let that intention kind of take its time to settle into our body so we can paint. And that feels good for me. If that feels right for you, then great. If you have another intention in mind that you want to set while you're creating, that's also fine. Okay, so we can be curious and we can connect with our creativity, and we can talk about our theme, life maps. So each month when we do these subscription boxes and we have a theme for art journaling, and this theme is life maps, as I was saying, and I put it way over here. That's why I didn't see it.
Sneaky.
Visually mapping out ideas is a great way to jumpstart your creativity in your journal. Thinking through life events or mapping out new ideas can help you access new ways of knowing. We will
new ways of knowing?
Yeah.
Meaning?
Well, like we can know things like numbers and that they add up at the end of the day for a balance on our checkbook or whatever, or we could know like, you know, the basic stuff that we're interacting with, you know, get in a given day in our work life or whatever. But I think when we do something different, like stop to be creative, and we like settle into like this, you know, place of openness or whatever it is, then maybe like we can know something in a different way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like looking at it from a different angle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I find that even just slowing down, all of a sudden I'll recognize like, hey, I have an emotion about that and I didn't even think about it because I didn't slow down enough to even be aware of myself. Does that make sense?
Acknowledging that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So accessing new ways of knowing. We will explore collaging with maps and painting with gouache. So I think sometimes when we change it up, like a new prompt or new technique, then we kind of access different places in our brain of knowing things. So that's what I meant by that. Okay, so that's the theme and today's prompt. And if you're not familiar with our process here, I like to offer you a technique to try and a prompt. You are not limited by that. You don't have to do this project exactly like I'm doing. If this just gets you excited about getting your art supplies out, then great, I'm happy about that. If you like this technique, but you're not sure about the prompt, you can do that. If this prompt resonates with you and you want to do a different technique, you can do that. Their possibilities are, you know, up to you. So here's the prompt. The first step in creating a future we desire is thinking about what we really want. This may include material possessions, but it can definitely go beyond that. When we focus on what we think will really make us happy, write it down and make it a visual reminder we are one step closer to it becoming a reality. Even though we can't control the future, we can imagine a few things for ourselves, can't we? Would you have been able to imagine a butterfly's future when you were a caterpillar? And I know that sounds like a backwards sentence, but sometimes it's easier for us to look back at our life and say, oh, I accomplished this, or oh, that makes sense now that this all worked out. But sometimes it's harder to like decide what our future is going to be or think in the future. And so that's why it kind of came out backwards, but you get it, right?
No, I get it. I like that.
Okay, so that's kind of what prompted this whole project that we're going to do. And it's this just fun butterfly with some collage and some journaling around it.
Lovely.
So we can do this. Okay, so let me clear my stuff, push it to the side here. I'll put this over there for reference, get my new journal out. Isn't it just so fun to start with a new journal?
Start fresh.
Start fresh. Some people find it terrifying. It's like, okay, I don't know how to start. Well, you just start. You just get in there and do it. And I'm finding this distracting, so I'm gonna put that over there. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so I've got this collage paper that I designed, and we can just, don't think too hard about it. Like, let's just rip it.
Yeah, rip it.
So I'm gonna rip this just along here. If you want to kind of have a controlled rip, you can kind of put your finger where you want to keep it, if that makes sense.
Does make sense. I can never control the ripping.
You just rip it. Okay, so let's see. I think I want to rip kind of like that. So that's what I'm gonna do. That feels good. And then I'm gonna rip it this way.
I like listening to the paper rip.
Oh. I like the sound of ripping too. It's fun. Okay, so that feels like it could go right there. pretty good. Works. Just trim that little, yeah. The key is to rip it a little bit bigger and then rip it down a little bit to fit your space. Like, that's what I do. Then I'm not like, oh, I ripped it too small, now it's not gonna work or whatever. Okay, so we got that spot. And then let's just rip this one this way. Okay, like that. Gonna do it this way, maybe? Yeah, like that. Whoa, Keenan, I just threw that whole piece of paper across the room.
You need to calm down, please.
Can you get that for me? Sorry.
It's a very tight space to get that.
I hope you're having a good time. Paper's flying. We're doing stuff here. We're making things happen. Thank you.
You're welcome. I just had to do some push-ups just to get to the paper.
All right, so we got that. And then I kind of just like this. So I'm gonna rip it this way. I was looking at what I made before because I was like, well, let's try to make it like that, but it doesn't really matter.
Make it similar.
Yeah. I think I ripped it across like that. I like that this ankle is not like straight on the rip, that's kind of a...
Me too.
Like a little wonky. I like wonky. Wonky is good.
Wonky's fun.
Just sort that down a little bit.
You know what are wonky? What's wonky and delicious?
What?
No-bake cookies.
Oh. Did you bring some?
Nope.
What are we talking about this for?
I want some.
Well, I'm pretty sure I have all the ingredients at our house to make this. I'm not great at making them.
I am not great at making them either anymore.
You lost your touch?
I did. I had my nephew help me because he makes really good no-bakes.
Maybe he just says in more practice. Maybe you just need to be making them more often, like bringing them once a week to work.
Oh, I see.
And then, you'll get your mojo back.
Oh, that could be.
I feel like that's the plan here. That's a good plan.
That's a good plan.
Okay, so I've got my Yes paste and I'm just going to put a little dab on there and smooth it around like it's icing on a cake,
What kind of cake? Wait, do you like vanilla cake or chocolate cake more?
So I like chocolate in all forms, so I am a chocolate cake kind of person. But if the vanilla cake is like got some kind of interesting topping or flavor on it, then I'm open to that.
Interesting.
But if it's just vanilla, then I'm gonna choose chocolate. What about you?
Oh, definitely chocolate.
Like, he likes brownies. I'm pretty sure he would pick chocolate cake.
Yeah, chocolate cake is the best. As a kid, I used to have a birthday cake that was chocolate cake, marshmallows, and chocolate chips. But the marshmallows and chocolate chips were put on after it had already been cooking for a while. So they melted on top.
Oh man, that sounds amazing.
Oh, it was so good.
All right. So was that, you said as a kid for your birthday, was that like a tradition or was that just like a one-time thing?
It happened like 3 times.
Nice. So you're like, hey, that cake you made last year, I want that again.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just leaving a little space down there so we can do a little painting. Okay, I got all the glue on my fingers, so just gotta get my hands wet and get that off. That's what aprons are good for too. Got a little short apron on today. All right. Okay, so now that my hands don't have glue on it, I can push it down. They're a little bit wet still, so I don't want to like mess up my paper. All right, bringing this down so I can work with it. Okay, and then our next one, same deal. Just put it on there, smooth it around. I like using a palette knife for this, but you could use whatever you got around. Some people like popsicle sticks.
Oh, that's a good idea. Would your jelly roller be able to roll glue, or would that just be crazy.
I think that might be crazy.
That'd be crazy.
But I like the thought of it. Like.
Yeah, just that idea.
I think you should try it in your art journal, see what happens, Keenan, and report back to us.
Sure. Just put a bunch of glue on the page and just roll around.
See what happens. You know, when we do Monday art day, because that's a thing that we do here at work.
Yeah.
You could try that.
I should do that.
Okay, I'm just gonna put this one over top of the blue one, just like a titch. Well, maybe I want to do it a little bit more. Maybe like that. It's funny when you make something once and then you're making it again to like try to get it how it was. It's fine. Whatever we do here is gonna be great. This is a pretty like simple thing, so there's like a lot of room for interpretation.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then I'm gonna put this one on top of that one. You don't need a lot of paste, just a little bit. Just smooth it around so you've got a nice thin layer. My daughter thought this was chapstick. I was like...
Did she try to put any on?
She was about to. I really should have just let her go for it. But I was like, no, that's glue. So if you put that on your lips, then they're going to stick together. She's like, that's silly, Mom. I'm like, well, that would be silly.
That would be silly. Another thing I may try.
Could you do that on art day too? So that we can all see this go down?
Yes.
Okay. And I just like want to leave a little room at the top so I can do that little bit of orange paint because it's fun. I just like the idea of that being a little highlight. Now I have just a little bit of paper going on off the edge there, but that's okay because I can trim that off after. Okay, so step one, got our collage paper down. That's done. We did it. Now we're going to use our, thank you, Keenan. I just love all your art cheerleading.
Thank you. Give me an A. Give me an R. Give me a T. What does that spell?
I already forgot. Okay, so we're going to use this butterfly, so that makes drawing the butterfly easy, and we're going to use this graphite paper. And graphite paper just transfers whatever you're pressing down on it, a little outline onto your page, which is cool. So we're going to put the shiny side down on our work here. And I have some tape over here. Has some, somebody was testing out a pin.
Oh yeah, that was Ella. She was painting on the tape. It was really cute.
On our kids box. So fun. Okay, so I'm going to put this tape down for a second so I can get my stuff lined up. I got a little excited. All right. So I kind of want my, let's see, I want my butterfly to be kind of centered. But if it's not centered, y'all, it's fine. It's fine. We're just art journaling. We're having a good time. And it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah. Maybe you want to use the rule of thirds.
Yeah, you could do that. I like that you know that, Keenan.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, we got this tape down, and that just helps it to stay in the same spot, because if you want to check and make sure your line's moving, if you don't have it taped down, then it's hard for it to get lined back up. To line back up? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right. So we're just going to trace our butterfly onto our paper. So I'm going to just try this little spot right here. I'm just going to go around the edge, the top of my wing, and I'm going to flip it up, make sure I'm getting that line. See that? It's working. So
Nice.
we know we're doing it.
Graphite paper is super cool.
It really is. Butterflies are cool too. I've seen a theme of butterflies cropping up in a lot of things I've been making lately.
Interesting.
Just several of the box collage papers I made, there's been a butterfly in there. I'm like, oh no, I'm doing a butterfly again. But I'm like, you know, it's just good.
Have you ever seen the show Psych?
Yes.
In every episode, there is a pineapple.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know this.
You have to find it.
It's like the hidden Mickeys at Disney World, but on Psych.
Yes.
And it's pineapple. I like it.
Now, the butterfly is yours.
I like it. Except for I don't know that there is a butterfly in everyone, but now maybe I should.
But not maybe every month. Could be just a random butterfly hidden somewhere.
I like it. Uh-oh. It's fine. I'm going to move that. My arm was sticking to the paper towel, and the palette knife went flying when I unstuck my arm, but that's all right. I was just really working hard at keeping my head out of the camera. To make Keenan's job easier.
You actually have been doing a great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, did I get all of the spots of the butterfly traced on? Oh, I just missed this little spot right there. And I'm just gonna make this a little bit darker so I can see it really well.
And depending on your pressure, you leave more or less mark, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you're doing like watercolor, it's nice to have it be kind of light so that your paint is kind of the hero, not the outline.
Yeah.
But in this case, we're gonna outline it with a pen, so it's nice to have it dark so we can really see where that shape is, because it's more of a graphic element for us.
Cool.
But I'm so glad that you pointed that out. Good stuff.
Just in case someone's never used graphite paper, you know?
Yeah. So you want that shiny side down, that's what you do.
Yeah, nice.
All right. Okay, now we can get our gouache out. This is exciting. And I'm just gonna dispense my gouache in this cute little palette because why not? And I'm going to use the turquoise blue, and I'm just gonna use it straight out the tube. Not even gonna mix it because it's such a great color. And that's what I love about Holbein, is that their paint just has this, is just packed with pigment. It's so beautiful. And I want you to notice I'm using a new brush. It's been about 6 months since we started these, and my brush was looking a little rough. So
rough.
If your brush is looking rough and you've been painting for 6 months, might be time. Okay, so I'm just gonna go around the outside edge of that line, just like this. And it's not super opaque. The paint is got enough water in it where I can still see my map underneath coming through, which is kind of a nice effect. I might just turn my page so I can see it a little better. I can get to it with my hand a little better is what I meant to say. I do like butterflies because it's just this symbol of change. Like, it still blows my mind that a caterpillar could be a butterfly. Like, those are two totally different
It is pretty
things.
amazing. It makes me think of the show, I think Ants, the movie Ants.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy at the end, the caterpillar throughout the whole movie, and at the end he hatches into a butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
I love that part because he's got these tiny wings and he's still a giant caterpillar. I have beautiful butterflies. You all look like little ants down there. Goodbye.
Oh, my eyes are squinty. I can't see it. All right. Yeah, it's like, what a transformation. Like, and I think it's a good thing to think about every now and then, because when we're going through like a hard time, sometimes it's hard to imagine how we're going to come out on the other side of something. But, you know, That's when we have the opportunity to grow too. It's like that Leonard Cohen quote. I'm gonna butcher it now.
Oh, you want me to read it for you?
Yes.
That is a great quote.
The one with the crack. That one. I want that one.
Okay. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in.
I love that.
Leonard Cohen. With the mic drop. I mean, that's what a challenge is, right? It's an opportunity for us to grow.
Yep. And in this case, what we're doing is we're thinking about, you know, the future, maybe some things that we like in our future. That's the prompt. And it might be hard to imagine right now. And some of the things might even feel a little selfish, like, I want this in my future. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So I mentioned that they don't have to all be like monetary things, but some of mine are, like, and I think that's okay. Sometimes I feel guilty about that.
One of mine is very specifically a monetary thing. I would love to have a new pair of socks every day.
Oh my gosh. You just like the feeling of new socks?
I love new socks.
I could get behind that.
Yeah, socks are just the best.
Yeah, so if you like this transparent sort of look, then you can leave this like that. If you want it to be a little more opaque and do a, like, have it gradiate out, then you can get a little more paint and a little less water, and you can make it thicker. So can you see how that's, like, you can't see through it as much?
Yeah.
So that's the neat thing about gouache, is that you can get different levels of opacity.
Is gouache... Oh, it's water soluble. That's right. Never mind. And I answered my own question. I was going to ask if it's similar.
Well, you should ask, because
Yeah.
then people
I was going to
wondering,
ask, is it similar to acrylic paint? But if it's water soluble, does that mean that it can be reactivated at some point?
That is right.
Okay.
So the thing about that that's nice is if you got some color down and then you want to blend another color or mix, you know, you still have that opportunity. It's not like, okay, well, now I have to paint over this. You can keep working with it. Okay, so I have some places of opacity, places that are transparent and some places that are less transparent. And I kind of like how that is working. I think I want to blend it out a little bit, though. I don't want such a harsh line. I kind of want it to be a little softer. And you know, your collage paper is not watercolor paper. It's just paper, so it's not going to handle like a lot of water. So it's just the paper that it is. You know, it's
doing the best job that it can.
It's doing the best it can. That was what I was writing. I was like, how can I personify this paper? You did it, Keenan. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that.
Nice.
So we gotta let this dry. Oh, we can put some orange in while we're waiting for that to dry. Brilliant orange. This is just a simple one, but the nice thing is you can spend your time thinking about what you're gonna journal on it.
Jessie, quick question.
Yeah.
Are you gonna paint the antennas?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to do an outline. So if you look here, I kind of left that just blue, and then I'll do the outline so it pops out.
Gotcha.
Were you worried that the antennas weren't going to be?
I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to see them.
I'm glad that you were worrying for our little butterfly.
He's got to be able to see and feel.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how he sees and feels, but...
I don't know either. We should ask Sarah's daughter, because she's been collecting butterflies lately.
Yeah, she has. Those are very good complementary colors.
Thanks. I think so too. And our other projects, we're going to do some color mixing, and these colors mix to get some really nice other colors. But
what color is that? Is that red orange?
Brilliant orange.
Brilliant.
It's almost fluorescent, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so pretty.
Oh yeah, liking that. So let's just thicken that up a little, and we can add another layer. So you can start out light and add darker if you like. I think it'd be nice to just have this be a little lighter so we get a little gradation of color there. And that's just what's so cool about gouache, is that you can do that. Oh yeah, I like that.
I do too.
We'll see how that dries. If we want to put a little more darker on there, then we can blend it out and do that, because it's cool about gouache. Okay, and this is the part where I'll just keep fiddling because it's not dry yet, and then it will never be dry because I'll just keep painting it. So if that's you right now, you can stop and get a snack.
Yes.
Maybe some no-bake cookies, since Keenan's got us thinking about that now.
And if you make any, our address is 210
Yeah.
North Davis Street,
We will
Hamilton,
not-
Missouri.
We will not turn that down. And I think they mail pretty well,
Oh yeah,
so no worries there.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, rinse my brush.
Ooh, especially if you make them in like little balls and then put them in an egg carton.
Oh, really?
No idea, but I just thought it would be a good time to try.
Okay, so we're gonna let this dry for a second and we'll be right back. Okay, this is looking and feeling dry. Keenan just hit it with a heat gun to dry it for
Physically,
us.
I just kept hitting the paper. It was weird how it dried.
You can do that at home too. You don't have to have a special heat gun. You can use a blow dryer, or you can do it, have a snack like we were talking about. Okay, so I'm just gonna outline our butterfly. Just gonna follow the line that we already have. Try to keep my arm out of my paint there. All right. And I know Keenan was worried about our antennas. We're gonna get those.
Nice.
I feel like I'm less nervous than I usually am when I'm trying to do this part. I'm
That's
like,
good.
I don't want to mess it up. We set an intention,
Yeah.
so.
You had that plan in your head. It's amazing what the black pen does to change the blue.
It makes it have some depth.
Yeah, and shape. Wow.
I'm gonna turn this so I can. Yeah, if you're feeling awkward in the way that you're trying to draw a line, you can always turn your book. It took me a little bit of time to recognize that. I didn't have to have my hand in some like weird position to draw. I could just simply move my book around. I wish someone would have told me that sooner.
Yeah, that would have been really helpful.
So that's what we're here for, y'all.
Just like a washer. You gotta have that spin cycle.
What?
I don't know.
You lost me.
Sorry. Like a washer and dryer, you're doing laundry, you gotta have a spin cycle.
Oh, I'm turning it. I got you.
You're turning it, it's spinning.
I thought you were making some other kind of analogy, and I was like, I'm not sure where this is going.
This doesn't
like
make
it.
any sense. Keenan's finally cracked.
But, the crack, that's how the light gets in, so that's all right.
That's right.
All of a sudden, I got the Reading Rainbow song in my head.
I don't think I know that song.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. I would sing it, but I'm not a singer, y'all. We already know this. I am a big LeVar Burton fan, so.
Good old Geordie.
I'm just making this hard. The camera. Sorry, Keaton.
It's all right.
I'm also trying not to put my hand on where the ink might be still drying, because it might smear, which is fine. It would look cool smeared too. It's all right. I'm open to the possibilities. Okay, so now those are all the steps to set for journaling. So you can try to journal like anywhere you want. You could journal in this negative space here or here, but I think it's kind of fun to try to do it around the shape of the butterfly. So I'm going to do that. And I'm thinking about just some things I'd like to imagine in my future, and healthy sleep habits is one of them.
Oh, that'd be great.
So I'm working on that. Healthy.
Oh, that's a difficult one.
And I'm going to turn this as I write too. It is. For you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like sleep is a major problem that a lot of people struggle with. I can't be the only one, you know?
Mm-hmm. It has helped for me to like make an alarm on my phone to be like, hey, it's time for you to wind down now.
Uh-huh.
Like, put
That
those
is
art supplies
helpful.
away. Stop cleaning, whatever you're doing. Another one that I'd like to see in my future is an art home studio space,
Ooh.
which feels like a little selfish, but I want it.
That'd be great.
I can have a little spot in my garage, but it's kind of seasonal, you know?
It is a little seasonal, especially out here where we get all the seasons.
And all the humidity, I can notice that in my air.
Yeah. It's a little heavy, a little damp in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'd like to have a voiceover studio.
Yeah?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I think it would be fun to write a book. I think I've talked about that before. I'm going to put that in there. I want to be an author. That seems like way out of reach for me, but I'm putting it there because it could be like one of those butterfly things.
Absolutely.
Let's see. What else did I put on here? Oh, I want to do a tiny art show. I thought that would be fun. Those little tiny ones that I've been doing. I'm trying to imagine what other people might think. Debt-free, I think, is a good thing.
Ooh, that's a great one.
That would make me feel really free.
Me too.
Just having things more in order than we have now. You know, you never know. I could get better at that. It's a good thing to think about for my future. I was thinking about an anniversary trip.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think Hawaii would be cool. I've only been to Hawaii once, but I didn't go with my husband.
Hawaii is beautiful.
Yeah, good things. So whatever you're thinking you want to have for your future, you can write this down in this way or some other way. And oh, I forgot, there's this little edge right here that we didn't trim off. And I didn't mention that have these supplies, but since we're doing it, we're doing it. Let's see, grab my X-Acto. This is just an easy, quick thing. You could also do this with scissors. I'm just gonna take my X-Acto, and I'm gonna flip this over so it's very clear exactly what I need to trim off when you get to that page. I'm gonna use my page as a guide. I'm just gonna trim that off. Simple. And we did it. That's our butterfly collage.
Woo woo.
Fun, easy. I can't wait to see what you do. And I just wanted to say, I'm so thankful for the connections that I get to make while we're making art together in this way. And it's really fun to make these videos, but it's not just me making videos and like walking away, like there you go. Like it's like we have this really neat community where we share what we made, we share our feelings about what we made, and we approach it in different ways, so then it becomes even more inspiration for others who are following along and cheering us on, which is really neat. And I'm just so grateful for those connections that we're making. So I hope that if you enjoyed making this with us, that you'll share it on our Facebook group, which is Let's Make Art Journals, or use the Instagram tag as well. This is a fun first project in our life maps, and we have more to come, and we hope you will join us next time. Thanks so much. Bye.